Narcissists bait you into a fight so that you will argue. Because if you argue, it means they are important enough to argue with. And it means they're still in control of you. They can manipulate you. We have to stop falling for that. See, they want you to get triggered and blow up, because then they can call you crazy, can't they? That's exactly what happens. And then you end up spending the rest of the time apologizing to them. And you're right back to the same place you were before. Confused, ashamed, exhausted, and hurt. So how do we fix it? The only way to beat them at their game is not to play. When they bait you, you don't take the bait. And this is hard to do, but it's essential for our own growth and maturity. Remember, we don't need to convince anyone else of our own worth. You are valuable and worthy of love and respect and kindness and consideration. You have to believe that before anyone else does. Next, I want you to believe that nobody gets to disrespect or demean you or talk down to you. Nobody. Ever. Because you're way too valuable for that. So when it happens, I don't want you to default to engaging deeper, trying to convince someone else that your feelings matter. You know that's pointless, because that never results in them feeling that way, does it? Instead, we need to realize we're fighting a losing battle. And stop. Stop fighting. They're not going to see your perspective. The way I see it, you have three options. One, anytime they disrespect you, you say, I'm leaving this conversation until you can speak to me with respect. And then you leave. That's the safest option, and the one I highly recommend, because I don't trust them not to hurt you, emotionally or physically. Two, if you can't leave, try the gray rock method. Pretend that you're a gray rock. If someone yelled at a gray rock, it would just sit there, like a gray rock does. Three, you can try calmly agreeing with them. Remember, I don't trust them not to hurt you, and you shouldn't either. So we're just trying to de-escalate things here. If they say something, you just agree. Say, yeah, I guess I need to work on that. Or, yeah, you're probably right. That's it. But we have to remember, their goal is to fight. So they might not give up. They might continue escalating the fight, calling you worse and worse names over and over again, trying to bait you and get a rise out of you. And it's in that moment I really need us to focus and remember, this is the person who says they love us. This is the person we're in a relationship with. This isn't about victim blaming. This is about abuse. You're an abuse victim. And do you know what's really hard for abuse victims to recognize? When they're being abused. So please let this help us realize that we need to reach out to someone. You're not too much. You're not a burden. You're not too emotional. You're not asking for too much. You're asking for the bare minimum. But you need to reach out to someone so you can talk about this abuse. I promise you, you'll be glad you did.